Welcome traders, and welcome to this week's session where I teach you how to trade Bitcoin on PrimeXBT's cryptos futures platform. Now, Bitcoin was initially introduced back in 2009 as a peer-to-peer cash system. However, in 2010, Bitcoin became available to trade on exchanges. Now today, traders love to speculate on the price of Bitcoin, especially on both the CFDs as well as the crypto futures markets. So this space has definitely grown tremendously over the last few years. So let's dive into the cryptocurrency Bitcoin, and let me show you today how you can trade it on the crypto futures platform. Now, if you have not already set up an account, it's really easy to do so. I've actually already got an account set up, so I'm going to head over to my main account portal. Now, once you've registered as well as verified yourself, you can make the necessary deposit into your account. We offer various options in the form of either fiat or cryptocurrency, and you can see that by this option over here. So I've already got a couple of fundings sitting in this account, so I'm going to show you how we can trade Bitcoin on our crypto futures platform today. Now, it's super simple. If you've already watched some of the tutorials in the past, I will show you how we can pretty much transfer the funding outside of our wallet account and into our crypto futures platform. Now, as mentioned in the past, it doesn't necessarily mean that the funding is now leaving the account or the platform. It's pretty much just an internal transfer. And in order for you to actually make executable trades on our crypto futures platform, you need to have some form of liquidity and margin sitting in there, right? So let me show you how you can do that. So simply where it says transfer, you can either go to the asset that you've already got loaded up and click transfer there, or you can simply click on where it says transfer here. You can choose the wallet that you would like to move funding from. So maybe you've already got some funding sitting in your CFDs trading platform, but you want to move it over to the crypto futures platform. It's really easy to do so. You can do that. I'm going to show you how you can transfer out of your wallet account and into your sort of crypto futures platform, right? So if you go where it says to, you've got a couple of options, namely your wallet, futures, as well as CFD trading. So let's dive right into how we can transfer it into our crypto futures platform. So let's say, for example, I'm just going to load up 100 USD. You'll then see that the transfer has then been completed, right? And now when you go over to the top right hand corner over here, you'll see where it says crypto futures. If you click on that now, your funding should then be sitting in your equity balance over here. And then that pretty much means that you're ready to go in terms of trading, right? Now, if you have a look over here, it might default on a different ticker or different cryptocurrency. So for example, here I've got ADA, right? That's not necessarily what I'm wanting to show you today. So I'm going to have to go navigate to that, right? So how do I do that? It's really easy. Underneath the PrimeXBT logo, you see something that says AD/USD Tether. So you click on that, right? It brings a drop down. It shows you all the assets that we have offered to be able to trade on the futures platform side of things. So I want to trade Bitcoin, so I'm going to have to understand exactly what the ticker is. And in this scenario, it's just going to be BTC/USD Tether. So I simply click on that, right? It will then bring up a new chart window. You see how it's changed from ADA now to BTC. And if you have a look over here, you can pretty much see the terminal, right? It's super easy to use. You've got pretty much the order book flow data that sits on the right. You've got your positions, orders, fills, as well as your histories on the bottom left-hand corner. And then you've obviously got your actual trading execution widget, right? And I like to use these functions quite often. So I will be flicking either between a market or a limit entry order. So I'm going to show you how you can do that today. But there's a key important thing that I want to show you, and that's specifically regarding our crypto futures platform, is that you've got leverage on your side, right? So you can choose. So if you have a look here, it might default to your cross leverage when you initially set up your account. You're going to either have to change that, or if you're happy with using the cross leverage, then you can do so. You simply click on where it says margin edit, right? You then have two options. You're either going to keep it at a cross, which will be fixed 200x, or you're going to keep it at isolated. Now, isolated gives you the option to trade whatever leverage you want. So for example, if you want to change it, you can simply do so. I'm going to make it 10 today. You then simply click the button set. It will then now change your leverage for you, right? So if you have a look now under margin type, it now says isolated 10x. And obviously if you want to change that again, you click on the little pencil button. So it's super simple and super easy to use. And then if you have a look, you've got two options, right? You're either purchasing with the market or you're short selling with the market, right? So that basically means you're either buying or you selling. So if you want to, for example, enter into a one lot or a one futures contract size on BTC, you can see there I actually don't have enough funding in my account to do so. So you'll need to go and change to a figure that is actually acceptable for the amount of margin and liquidity you have sitting in your account. So there over here, you can now see we've got two options, right? Buy or sell. So if I want to simply click a market execution order now to buy, I simply go place buy order, right? Now you'll see that the order is actually executed for me, and it will sit under where it says positions. So you might not be able to see it because of my face there right now, but you'll then actively be able to see that it says what positions you're running, how many sort of contracts you're in, as well as your market execution price, your liquidity price. So remember, liquidity price is basically saying that if price moves against you, right, that is where, and you don't have enough funding in your account, that's where you'll get stopped out, right? So if you have a look here, we're running a trade right now that is being bought up with the market at 0.5. I'm currently running at, say, $9 loss, okay? So if you want to now go and modify that, because this is the first step, right? The first step is obviously executing the position. The second step is to obviously manage your risk around that position. So how do I manage my risk around this position? It's super simple. You've got two ways to do it. You can either go and click on where it says stop loss and take profit. There's a little pencil button over there. You can then manually input the levels that you want for your take profit level as well as your stop loss level. Or you can click on the button here where it says, if you hover over the position size, it will then pop up a little TP and SL indicator. And that means that you can actually manually adjust it yourself. So for example, let's say I want to add a stop loss. I can just simply drag and drop, right? Obviously I'm buying with the market, so my stop loss can't be above my current rate. That will actually then be my take profit, right? So let's say, for example, I don't want to hold this trade for more than, say, $500 loss. I will simply then just let it go like that. It will then say, do you want to set this as your stop loss level? I say yes. I go set, right? Now you'll see, okay, cool. If price trades into this lower area here, I'll get stopped out for $530. And then obviously if you want to add a take profit level, you can simply modify that by doing this over here. So it's really easy to use. It's super simple. You drag and drop the same way as which I did for the stop loss function. And now you can see that, okay, cool. If price starts to trade up into this higher area over here, I will get a profit position of $1,845. However, if price trades against me into, say, $59,771, I will then get stopped out at $531, right? So if you are happy with the position, you can leave it running, right? If you want to go and manually intervene whenever you feel like, you can simply go and do that by either modifying the position by clicking on it, right? Or if you want to simply close the position, you can do so by either closing the position here, or you have a function to close it at the bottom right-hand corner over here, right? So let's say, for example, I don't want to be in this position anymore. I simply click close, and then the position is no longer running. And if you go to your history tab, it will then show you the position that you ran, what your net result was, etc. Okay, so that's how you can run a active market order entry. The same is done pretty much for the sell side. So if you want to sell a position, you would obviously then need to toggle to the sell function, right? And then it's pretty much the same function. So you click market order, etc. right? I want to show you now how you can maybe look into actually putting a limit entry order, right? So what does that mean? So if you have a look here, I'm going to show you actually on the sell side now. So if you have a look here, price is currently trading at around $60,000, right? So how does a limit order work? A limit order basically means that if price is below a price that you actually want to be in, you can simply, for a sell side scenario, you can simply add a limit, right? Basically, that means that I don't want to sell right now in the market, but if price trades up into, say, $64,000, then I want to sell, okay? So how do I do that? Now, if you have a look here, there's a market price, right? And then there's a limit entry, right? So the limit entry gives you the function now to actually manually input the figure in which you would like to execute from. So let's say, for example, I'd like to execute a position at $65,000 to sell with the market. Then I would simply go and manually just change this, right? So if you have a look here now, market execution order would be market executing at the current price. However, I want price to maybe go higher before I start to sell, for example, then I would do it like this, right? So then again, you can change the margin type however you want. And then if you have a look here now, it says place sell order, right? So if I go place sell order, you'll see that the limit entry will pop up here, right? And that is pretty much in alignment with the figure that I said I would like to sell from, okay? If you would like to then go and change that, then you'll need to go to where it says orders, right? Because it's not actually an active position that's running because price has not got to that level yet. So how do I go and actually change that? Let's say, for example, I don't want to enter at $65,000 anymore. I actually want to enter at $63,000. So then what you can go and do, you can either click on this itself, right? It will then give you a little function to modify it, right? So I can either change my limit price here, or if you go to where it says orders, so next to where it says positions, you can double click on it and it will give you the same function, right? So let's say, for example, I want to change now to 63,000. Obviously, for example, it's not going to let you enter a sell limit if price is at say $60,000 and you want to enter a sell limit at 55,000 because price needs to be below the entry level that you want to be entering into. So that's simply how I can then modify my position, right? And then basically once price kind of trades back into this area, only then will I actually get triggered in on my sell entry. And then let's say, for example, you don't want to run this position anymore, then you can simply go and click where it says exit and you can go cancel the order, right? So that's pretty much in a nutshell how you can trade Bitcoin on our crypto futures platform. So I'm super excited to be here and explaining these cool functions that we have. So stay tuned for sort of more market updates and tutorials on this, and I'll see you in next week's tutorial. Thank you.